Obviously, we have a kind of electronic pop music influence, but we also come from very rock and indie background. So we're trying to make, doesn't make a lot of sense, but organic electronic music, I guess. So just mixing up these.
Yeah, with the
elements.
with strings and chorals and yeah, we're trying to make some natural feel to the electronic background of the beats and everything. So yeah, that's what is Floes, I guess. Tell me what did you see on your pillow traveling high? Tell me what did you see with your head so high in the clouds?
Today we are doing a photo shoot with a friend of ours, Sam Saint-Onge, here in Quebec City.
Bienvenue à toi.
We are at his studio to take some cool-looking artistic photos to just get a new set for the press.
Des forts contrastes, voulez que ça soit un peu ténébreux. Tu sais, moi, ça ici, là, je trouvais ça super intéressant. Puis avec, ça me faisait...
For the first EP, we were.
Yeah, it was mostly just a statement of just saying, oh, we are a band, we're doing music together. So it was mostly for our friends and doing some shows around just to get set up. And now with that second EP, we're trying to reach a bigger audience. So targeting mainly Spotify to reach people all around the world.
You can know a lot about your audience with Spotify. Our single last night has been listened a lot more, I think 100 times more, in fact, than the songs on the first EP. And we can see that people from all over the world, all around the world, listen to this single.
Yes, but Spotify give us all the stats.
It's a great tools for independent artists, just to measure what's happening with your songs right now.
Yeah, so we're getting an idea of the kind of people we are reaching out to, which kind of people listen to our music, where they're listening to us. So it helps us to target them and just to get a feel of how we're expanding our audience.
How the public respond to what we're doing. I think it would have been harder before for a band, for a small band like we are.
Starting.
It would have been harder, I think, to have the reach we have right now, as small as it is.
You know, we didn't do physical CDs. We didn't grow with the old industry, so it's not a hard move for us. It just comes naturally to use these platforms like YouTube and Spotify to just put out our music. And it just this approach is just more accessible for everybody. So it really helps us.
Artists and people listening to music can communicate easier than before, and directly. I think it's vibrating, and that's a good change in the music industry right now.
Safe ground
on veut éclairer tout le monde.
We were working on new music. We needed a new picture, new image to go along with that music, because as we talked about, the music industry today is a lot on the internet, music streaming. So for people that are scrolling through Spotify playlists, we want them, as they see our picture, they get an idea of the feeling of the music we make. So,
and the sound of the second EP is a little bit different than the first one. So we needed to fit that sound in terms of images and the pictures and artwork and everything.
So we asked our friend Vincent Dufour to get some artistic direction for the pictures. So we found kind of a dark and colored theme. So we're trying to work with a bit of color, textures, with dark backgrounds to get a sense maybe of the music we have on the EP.
Tu sais, qui va tout venir vous chercher un par un qu'on va vous placer. Fait que je pense qu'on...
The Quebec music scene is really, we really feel like it's a family where we grow up at the Pantoum. There's a lot of bands of various styles, but we are all gathered there with our passion for music and helping each other through that. So it's really good for us, but in another sense, we are singing in English in a French community. So we are trying to reach a bigger audience. It's a bit hard sometimes, but that's why we're working with collaborators like Ghostly Kisses, Fjord, all artists that are trying to make an international reach on Spotify mainly. So that's the path we're trying to take.
When I sing, it comes naturally for me to sing in English, more naturally than when I speak. I listened to English music all my life, so I think the sounds that the English language produces, I just like the words are coming to my head, and I can write some lyrics, and then I go. We have a collaborator, an English writer, who is Van Delory, and because sometimes we don't make lyrics that make sense.
Initially, we're composing without the lyrics, so we're just trying to get the arrangements and the chord progressions,
all the melody.
The melodies. Well. It's just the melodies comes out naturally, and then we're just trying to put out some lyrics about the themes that we care about on top of that. So it comes first about the instrumental track, and just adding some lyrics after that.
Yeah. This is where we are working on Floes EPs, and this place is in the Pantoum, Le Pantoum.
It's a musical complex with a practice room, a stage, a studio, and there is maybe 2 times by month some show here. And I used to live here for 3 years.
It's a good place for exchanging ideas, and this is where we met. Also, I was jamming on the stage with Arfan, and I heard Pepe and Simon were jamming some beats, some electronic beats, and Arfan is a folk band, and I was like, I want to do some electronic music also, and
just knock on the door.
I knock on the door and I said, okay, guys, that's cool stuff you're doing here. Do you have a place for a singer? And that's when it began.
Yeah, but we knew each other before a little bit, but not much.
Not much.
And we were not supposed to have a band together, and just...
It just happened because of a knock on a door.
And this is what the Pantoum created. We are all emerging bands, not always the same musical style, but with the same vision, and we are together and we exchange a lot.
A few years ago, I think electronic music was a little bit cold, and I think what is happening right now with electronic music, and that's what we are trying to do, is getting a little warmer, a little closer to the people, and I think they're blending with we're blending with organic elements, and in the show. We are trying to make our collaborators come and sing with us and play violins live on stage when it's possible. We're trying to connect with people, even if there are synths and electronic beats. I think this is a warm place and like a bubble where people can are connecting between them in the show. Yeah.
It's even better than I could imagine. We